Well, my career path started engineering by, ever since I was little, my parents, noticed I, liked Legos or, had a knack for math. This whole engineering thing called, that guy has a knack where, like, you kind of, stuff in engineering works well for you. So that's kind of the path I started on. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it until I got to college and experienced it. And as far as, I ended up going to UCF. Kind of my path to UCF involved, I applied for all kinds of schools. I eventually got into UF, and that was my number one choice at the time because, most of my family went there. But I came to this campus and I visited it and kind of looked at all the facilities, and I was like, I kind of wanted to start my own thing, and I felt like this place was kind of home before I even met it. So I came to UCF and I started, going through the engineering program, and it was, tough in some areas, but like I saw that, this was a worthwhile program. I'd say definitely the more rigor it involved. Coming to UCF was kind of my first time I ever, went through a class where I struggled and I had to, realize that, I can't be too prideful to ask for help, or I can't, if I don't know something, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's my objective to find things. So going through all that and just realizing that, engineering is going to be a grind. Like, it's definitely not going to be easy. You have to keep grinding through it and keep going through it, and then it'll pay off eventually. See, well, for me, I guess as far as the staff's concerned, like, having a mentor, like talking to Miss Lean and everyone else, I kind of got a sense of, what my goals should be. Like, I had something to shoot for, and, before I got here, I wasn't sure, how I wanted to continue my education. I was like, I'm going to go through, get a job, do that thing, but kind of the more I went through this program and the more they kind of instilled in me, like, the value of education, I kind of realized that, I want to eventually, go back for my master's and eventually, go back for my PhD just so I can, like, end up teaching, which is kind of what I really want to do at the end. And, hopefully throw Disney in there in between. But also too, this program allows me to have a scholarship, which is definitely helping. Just in general, being a student these days is really expensive, and I feel that, any kind of money helps, especially, especially in my case, I was able to often, like, do well enough to get scholarships to pay my tuition, but, I'd always have to worry about rent or, food or all the, extra costs that come with, being a college student. And let's see. There was also like, night sessions that, at first it was just like, kind of have to attend these, but, once I was there, it was kind of like enlightening because I learned, I learned a lot of stuff about, grad school before I even thought I was wanted to go to grad school, or I learned about, interview practices, good resume writing, like kind of the soft skill stuff that you need to be successful in life also. And then also too, through the RAMA program, I was able to, well, at least through this program, I was able to get my first internship, and I think it was good for me because it allowed me to kind of interact, get a real world experience, and I was able to work with an actual company, and that was my first taste of, like, professional world, and I had to, realize I had to, hold myself to a higher standard whenever I'm working somewhere. So kind of overall, it's kind of the overall, I'd say, being in the NACME program, this is one kind of helped me as myself figure out what I want to do with my life, but also kind of prepared me for the next step I want to take. So as of right now, I've been offered a position in the College of Engineering to be a graduate teaching assistant. So with that, I still have to go through the process of applying to grad school. But from what I'm told, basically I should be able to get in. Like, I believe I'll get in. So with that, I'll be, continuing at UCF for my master's, which is nice because I don't have to go that far away. So I'm looking forward to that. And with that also too, I'll have, the position as a graduate teaching assistant, so I'll be able to continue to do kind of like, I'll have a job in a say, and also be able to kind of work doing what I've been doing, which is, teaching and helping out. So that's like currently, after I get my master's, my goal is to, work for Disney and be an Imagineer. So that's my job goal. And then long-term goal, I want to come back to school and get my doctorate so I can go and teach, because kind of my things is, like, what I found is, like, I like engineering and I like teaching. So, the mesh between them would be a professor eventually. Say be very prepared to work hard. I'd say definitely you can be the smartest kid in the world, but if you don't apply it and put the effort in, then you'll still struggle in engineering. Also, one thing I found too is just kind of, there's the smarts and there's the technical side of engineering, but there's also, like, the very important, like, social / ethical side. Like, you have to be able to, interact with people, but also to be able to, like, despite how profitable it may be for you, you always have to, like, have the integrity to make the right decisions, because, often in engineering, people's lives are at stake. So be prepared for that. Always, train yourself to, always try to make the right decisions. And then, yeah, just to reiterate, just work hard, because, it's certainly not easy, but that's, why that's why people covet it as, like, a skill position. To me, it means kind of celebrating, celebrating people's differences. Like, you can be, and finding the strengths in people's differences. And with that, I find that, especially, engineering, and also too, I've been a part of, music programs, like stuff like that. you find that, you know, people from all across the world can experience differently, but also they can contribute to it. And in the past, you know, me working with different people has often like strengthened whatever the group dynamic is, as far as, you know, finding solutions or just seeing people's backgrounds often like aid in the overall, you know, accomplishment of things. So when I think of diversity and inclusion, I think of just, you know, one, you know, accepting people, you know, no matter like who they are, because they can contribute just as much as anyone else. And also two, just trying to, you know, bring like all those together, you know, despite all those differences.